Hi again, I'm Kill2 here with Shadu, and we're looking at a group stage match from Day 3 of Alliance Tournament 9. On your left, the Kadeshi, bringing a couple Macarials, 2 Rooks, a Hugin, a Scimitar, a Saber, and 2 Thrashers. And for Get Off My Lawn on the right, an Armageddon, a Typhoon, 2 Dominixes, a Guardian, a Rapier, and a Stiletto.
This from Kadeshi looks like a weird mix of damage mixed with some ECM in there and of course some range control and damps on those Thrashers and the Saber holes, while Get Off My Lawn just seemed to raid whatever battleships they had in their hangars and decided to bring it out. Why not?
Basically, that's what it looks like.
So
it's absolutely a sure thing that both Dominix's, Typhoons, and Armageddons are all bad in the tournament. Am I wrong?
yeah, this could very well be a fix-up. I mean, there was no way Get Off My Lawn could get off this bracket, so they just probably said, okay, what's the dumbest thing I have that I will never use on TQ on PvP, and I'll bring it out on the field and have it watch it getting blown up on camera. This is gonna be a massacre.
So the massacre has begun. We should start out. As you can see, the team started out a fair distance from each other. The Get Off My Lawn not caring at all. Warp to 0, of course. The Kadeshi pretty far away. They're going to want range for most of the fight. They want to control things. Looks like Dominixes are charging across the field with everything else. It's hard to see from that view, but it kind of looks like they're moving pretty fast.
Yeah, of course, these Dominixes will be actually relatively okay against the Rooks. If they got their drones on those Rooks before the jams went in, once those Berserker 2s hit in to the Rooks, bad things will happen. But as we see, the Rapier, the only thing that can keep the Kadeshi team down and away from kiting them is their Rapier on the Get Off My Lawn side, and they decided to bring a Rapier instead of a Hugin, which of course would have made some sense. But you know, as we see that blow up, this will end fairly quickly from here on in. Though the Berserker 2s have now reached the Rook from the Kadeshi side, and the Rook is taking some damage. Though it's going to be interesting to see whether or not it goes down, because this Scimitar should be able to keep it alive.
Yeah, it would be interesting if they actually killed some stuff. Maybe this will emerge as a power setup going into finals weekend.
Yes, that Rook seems to be wept down by something, which is kind of interesting. And but as we see, the Scimitar is putting some overloaded reps onto that Rook, and we're seeing it recover its shield fairly comfortably as the Typhoon is taking some heavy damage here.
So if I could ask you a question, Shadu, since this match sort of makes it relevant. In the past, when we saw Dominixes, a lot of time we saw sentry drones. They've kind of come and go from the tournament. Why do you think they're not? I don't think we've seen any this tournament. There's web drone right there. Thanks, cameraman, for showing us that. No wonder that Rook was webbed. That's, of course, web drones, only large-sized, so that has to be in any of these 4 battleship hulls, I guess, but generally that's a huge waste. But he is webbing that Rook, so nice job there.
Yeah, I think we saw some smart bomb effects coming from this Rook, which wouldn't surprise me too much if it had some kind of smart bomb running on it. But I don't think it's under any kind of trouble here whatsoever, handling what's coming its way. The thing about sentry drones, though, as we saw in last year's tournament, and I believe the year before that, as bombers and bombs became good and they were boosted, what we saw constantly is any kind of Ishtar or a Dominix-based team that was fielding a lot of sentry drones simply dropped them out. Of course, they had to move, and those bombs landed, and it was bye-bye drones.
That makes sense. That makes good sense. All right, so we lost the battleship. All the support except the Guardian is down for Get Off My Lawn. And they did manage to kill a Thrasher, so nice job, Get Off My Lawn. At least getting on the board with the joke setup here.
Yes, that Rook is at times taking heavy damage because for whatever reason it has decided to boldly charge the Dominix.
And he's getting neuted now by the Armageddon, and a lot of the Get Off My Lawn battleships have ECCCMs, so they're 3Cs there. So they're totally prepared. Maybe they're going to turn this around. They're at that second battleship, the Dominix is getting pretty low.
That ain't going to happen. Maybe this Rook said that, well, okay, so I have some kind of tank. These guys are obviously running a joke setup. I want to see that rainbow lasers coming from that Armageddon, which it,
No,
by the way,
no.
is not fielding. Come on, dude. You could at least put rainbows on.
He's going to kill a recon ship. He doesn't care about rainbows. Look at him go. He's got a newt and a tackle. That's a pretty awesome Armageddon right there. I have no idea why he's like, how could he get close to the Rook? That just doesn't make any sense.
Well, the Rook obviously just decided, hey, you know, let's play with these dudes a little bit, and then decided to go right in there.
Yes. Anyway, he's repping it back. Probably another jam or something. Drop some of the DPS on him. So he's back to full shields. They're going to go for that Armageddon next. They realize what a threat he is, and he's going to be the next target for the Kadeshi team. Absolutely.
I mean, there's no reason to shoot the Guardian at all when you have 2 Rooks. You are guaranteed to keep that Guardian out of the battle pretty much throughout the whole match.
So I know you got all the papers in front of you, Shadu. Since this match is looking pretty comfortably in the Kadeshi's control, how are we going to see the groups affected by this?
So we're going to see Kadeshi go through with wildly inappropriate for sure.
Okay.
From Group A.
All right, there you go.
It's kind of a shame that Godfathers is actually dropped out of this, but you know, when you bring a Galante Rush team without any real tackle, you gotta question yourself of how serious were you actually in being in this game. Of course, they're good guys. They've done a lot of good setups, but maybe going into the second weekend, that one lacked a little bit of thought for some reason. Maybe they had intel that they were going to meet a very different wild and appropriate team, an ECM-based team.
Yeah, I think that could have a lot to do with it. I also think, I always like to hope that on some level the teams are trying to do something entertaining and fun, and obviously everyone loves the Brutix hull, so that was maybe an attempt to try to make something work that everyone wants to work, even though it's not quite the best setup for the situation. I don't know if that's true, but I always think that might have more to do with what teams decide to bring than people might think. I mean, everyone wants to be entertaining. This is kind of the one time a year that you get to show sort of, you know, the whole community how fun you are. As we see right here, Macariel's bumping joke Dominixes across the arena. So
maybe he is trying to replicate the mercenary coalition setups from a couple of years back, where their tactic was with Macarios to bump the opposition out of the arena. I
sure
think they ended up running out of the arena themselves.
Sounds about right. I'm sure CCP's Janicho would appreciate that strategy. It would give him something to do over there. So we're just this one ship left, of course. Get Off My Lawn did manage to get a kill, scoring 2 points. They're about as good at the tournament as Michael Bolton is at golf, I found out this morning. But with this Guardian going down, that'll end the match, and the Kadeshi will go forward to the finals tomorrow. Good job to them, and we'll go back to the studio.